All right, we're live. Hi, Bree. How are
Yes.
you?
Doing fabulous. Happy
Good
to
to
be here.
yeah, really good to see you. And so Rosie's not quite with us right now. She did say that she would be here, and when she is, she'll jump right into the call. And so, Bree, we have a lot of exciting things to talk about.
Yep.
As everybody knows, the Texas Triangle, the Golden Triangle, is full of action all day long, right? So. Uh, that's really, I think it's exciting. And so, Bree, what I wanted to do was I'm going to briefly just talk about some of the activity that we're seeing as far as the news goes
Mhm.
for our region. And we'll just have a conversation about those things. Um, so I'm going to jump right into it.
Cool. Let's go.
Awesome, awesome. And so one of the first things that I'm going to mention is I think it plays into I guess the Austin growth story, right? So we have Tacoba Boots. I think that was all over the news. They're actually expanding. They're buying a larger footprint, more square footage. I think they're going to be located somewhere off of Congress, and so they're making a huge investment and buying 30,000 square feet of retail space.
Wow.
Um, and I really think that really why that's important because a lot of people might be wondering, well, what's that have to do with real estate and especially Austin real estate? So they went from their $1 million in sales in 2015. I believe they started in 2015. After their first year, they had a $1 million year, right? And now the company, you won't believe it, 8 years later, within the 8 year time frame, they've shot up their sales to $200 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was talking to Deep about this, and I was talking about how I think what that story tells me is, and right now they're just barely starting to expand outside of Austin. I think they have 4 or 5 stores here. Is I feel like people originally what they've done is they visited Texas. You visit Texas, you visit Austin. What do? You buy a pair of boots,
Yeah.
and so that's how I think they made a name for themselves is a lot of out of towners, a lot of people that are visiting here decided that they had to have a pair of boots. And now the company's expanding to places like California and different states. So I thought that was pretty motivating watching another hometown hero like, Torchy Tacos and all these
Yeah.
companies that start here in Austin and then become these big national players.
Right.
Yeah. Do you own a pair of Tacobas?
I don't.
Okay. I bought one because they were like accessible, they were affordable. Like, most times you have to I'm not like a like a boot aficionado. I'm not
Hmm.
saying like sacrifice a crocodile for a pair of boots. Like if you do, that's fine, right? But some of these boots that you walk into the stores are really expensive. They could be thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, boots are not. I would say when the first time I bought a pair of boots, I was like I think 19,
Mhm.
and it was a boyfriend I was dating at the time bought them for me. But I was surprised that a pair of boots were $400, and that was many many years ago, right?
Yeah.
And they are not a small investment.
Yeah, they're not.
You know
And
what?
so
They last for a long time, so I'm not mad at it.
they do. You probably
Love
still
some
have
good
them or
boots.
no?
Huh? I still have those. Yep.
Oh, that's incredible. That's the story about boots. They don't go anywhere. You're still going to have them.
Yep.
And so, but I really shared that because I think when you talk about the Golden Triangle, you talk about Texas, you think cowboys, you think boots, you think cattle, you know? And so it's nice to see a company that started off here in Austin now branching off and going into these different states.
Yeah.
Pretty cool story. Um, and Torchies, I was looking at that in that conversation. They're in, I think, a total of 11 different states now. They started off as a food truck here in town.
Yeah.
And so that's that. And Bree, we're still seeing a lot of construction. We're seeing construction, and the city wants to buy a facility. I guess it's called the Tokyo Electrons campus in Southeast Austin.
Hmm.
I think the city wants to pay like $90 million for that and do something residential with it. So it looks like a big company. I don't know how they're going to do something residential with it, but those are the plans. And
Roger, you know what I just remembered? Weren't we talking about the JJ Pickle campus a couple weeks ago?
yeah, that's right.
So this is a little off topic, but Peace Park,
Hmm.
they just built a huge troll,
Okay.
and it's made from reclaimed wood from the tower at the JJ Pickle campus.
No way.
Yep. Yeah, I
Wow.
went there last weekend, and Peace Park has been around since forever.
The
Even
early days.
before me, and now it's completely changed, completely different. My mom and I were talking about it, and she's like, "Wow, it had a complete glow up." But it's a really cool place, and it's kind of not in the heart of downtown, but right near West Campus off of Enfield.
Yeah.
Um, and it's
I
just
think that was Austin's first park.
Peace Park was Austin's first park.
Yeah, it was very first park in Austin.
That's insane.
Hmm.
Anyways, small fun fact that I learned about this weekend. I thought you would like.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about the. So there's a couple of different things that are going on as far as transit. I was just switching the topic. That kind of happened fast,
Love it.
but so right now we had the light rail that's supposed to go in place, and there's some drama
Mhm.
with some people that are saying, "Hey, that's not what the original plans entailed. You guys have blown out the original plan. This was a bait and switch, and we need this is not the vote what the voters agreed on." And so I'm all for like that civic, that civic due diligence, and people have got to come out and they got to raise their voice on things that they feel like probably are not going the right way or as promised. So, but with some time, I'm really excited to see what that does, bringing the people right out of the airport into that downtown Austin.
Yeah.
And so, I think what's happened is there's a lot of growth that we're anticipating, and I think been anticipating it. And so, with that, what we're seeing is maybe some like overdevelopment. It's going to be a cat and mouse game, right? So, if you would have heard the conversation 6 months ago, it was all about affordable housing. How do we get more affordable housing? And now I think with all the construction that's going on in the multifamily sector, I don't feel like that's as much of a concern anymore. It's just going to kind of do this thing right here, right? The important thing is not to look at the tip of our nose because Samsung still has plans on expansion and they're not going anywhere. I just visited the plant this week and I'm telling you, from the first time I seen it till now, it's unrecognizable.
Mm.
Like if you go by there, you're gonna it looks like the eighth wonder of the world. It's literally, it looks like a fact, like driving up into a factory. Like it's just so huge. He's, it's just phenomenal. I can't even tell you. I can't even express to you how big it is. And so, and they're not done building that yet, right? And they have plans on building several more projects. I believe like 8 or 9 other chip facilities. So I'm excited to see what happens when those come online. And Governor Greg Abbott, and he has come on and and built out this consortium. So he's taken these private and public sector leaders, and he's given them a task to make sure that we have a workforce that can work inside these chip plants because it's a long-term strategy from the state, right? Uh, and I'm really excited to see what happens with that. It's about going into the school systems, developing the curriculum. Like a lot of these people are CEOs of companies that are here in Austin. And so Austin, Houston, San Antonio, all throughout the Golden Triangle. So he's taken the elite leaders of these companies that are in the chip industry, and he's given them this task of saying, hey, we need to develop our workforce. And so how that transfers to bringing new curriculum to our schools and higher education, I'm all for that. He actually announced that yesterday while at UT Dallas.
Mm.
So uh, what do you think about that? I thought that was pretty phenomenal. That was really good news.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for that. I know that just Going a little bit backwards, you mentioned affordable housing again and how we're kind of in the balancing of it.
Yeah.
I know a couple weeks ago we talked about some affordable housing that was available,
Mhm.
and when I was doing my weekly um, investor sheet where we, handpick properties,
Mhm.
found another property in a completely different area
Oh,
that
really?
is similar, and it's a part of an affordable housing program, brand
Mm.
new construction, and it's only available, if they qualify. So it seems like there are several different initiatives that are going on for affordable housing, specifically in Austin proper, that are under the 300 range. So
Yeah.
that's kind of exciting.
Wow, that is exciting. I had never thought I'd see the day. And because, we came and I was trying to explain this. We got to explain it to our kids. We got to have these talks about real estate with them now so that one day they can buy real estate and they can play in the same space, right? And so I was talking to my son and I said, look, when interest rates are higher, it has an inverse relationship with value. So when interest rates are high, uh, values of property go down. And I said, if you bought a $300,000 property while interest rates were high, when they do come down, it'll be worth more and you can sell it. But you can't sell it the other way around, right? When you buy property when interest rates are low, in many cases, we ran those numbers here on the show. We've shown people what they were. When interest rates were low, you saw a house that was valued at $500,000, and today, with interest rates being high, that same property is worth 300 now. And so, how do you offload something like that? You can't. You have to sit with it, and it actually doesn't even pay you to sit with that property, you know. And so, I would really tell people that this is the right time to buy with all of that's what's happening in the market. And it's just about being smart with your decision and going where the money is.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I actually we're going under contract today on a property with a client, and um, we were able to negotiate, I think it was roughly like 15K or something, but they're
Mm.
in essence buying a property for around 254K with the
Okay.
incentives that they're getting, right?
Mhm.
And that same exact property was selling for from anywhere between 350 to up to 410 in the beginning of 2022.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Right.
So 350, 410 is what it was selling for before.
350 to 410. Yeah. On the high end 410, on the low end around 350.
And what'd y'all put it under contract again?
254.
254? Holy smokes. Wow. That's $100,000 in value.
Right.
That's incredible. And that's exactly what's going to happen when these prices go back up, I would hate to be in that. I would hate to be in that situation, and the inverse of that, really, of that situation. Um, so I guess this is definitely the time to buy. Now, I think that's pretty much it. We are seeing development. We're seeing some companies that were originally going to build condos and this sort of thing, and they're coming back online now. There's a company out of Houston. They're building in Rice Village. They're building a Art Deco style condo building,
Mm.
and it's supposed to be upscale living and all of that. But these same developers had scrapped their plans at the onset of COVID, and now we're starting to see that construction, and we're starting to see these investors fired up again and getting back out there. All the reports that I've looked at, Bree, are saying that people are a lot more optimistic this year in 2024 than they were last year, and so that's a promising sign. I think it has everything to do with investor mindset more than anything else, more than any one thing.
Yeah.
A mindset game.
I've had probably, I would say, maybe like 7 or 10 calls this week because there was an article that was released talking about Austin is, hit the hardest with like the downturn in Austin. Market is slowing down. They've even said Houston market is slowing down too.
Mhm.
But I looked at the article and then I went in and I was like, okay, is this actually happening? So I pulled the data to see, like, are we truly slowing down? And it seems like that the data that the article, whatever they got, right, is about 6 months behind.
Oh,
So everything that we're seeing, actually, I just pulled data from February reports, because March is obviously still going on. We don't have those
Yeah.
reports yet. But February reports, we were seeing an increase. And we talked about this last week. We talked about there is an increase in the median price. There is an increase in the number of closed sales. There is an increase in the pending sales. Things are starting to move. Things are starting to happen if we look year over year. And
Yeah.
in Houston area, the list price to sales price ratio went from, I think it was 95.4 to
Mhm.
98.2, meaning they were able to negotiate around that, 5% or something. Now they're only able to negotiate around 2% because things are happening, things are starting to move again.
Okay.
So, I share that to tell everyone that, hey, look, we did see a slowdown. We are not in 2021 and 2022, and that's a good thing. We don't
Yeah.
want to be stuck in that area where you're going on the market and within 24 hours getting 70 offers and
Yeah.
having to put 25% over asking. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And we are at the point where there was the dip and now we're starting to rebuild again. So my suggestion to anyone that's looking to buy is still get in right now while the rates are still higher. I'm not going to lie and say they're low, right? They're
Mhm.
still at a higher rate, but as soon as those rates go down, just like you were saying, Roger, we're going to see an influx of buyers in the market and it's going to increase our prices again.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you something really interesting because I think it's the easiest thing to take out of context when they say Austin is maybe not growing or all of this. So if you see, these are the golden triangles. This is Harris County, here we have Travis County, and here we have Dallas County, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these counties are, if I was to say that these counties aren't growing, or they aren't growing at the fastest pace out of the whole nation, you're absolutely right. Look, these little pockets right here are not growing in relationship to the pockets around them.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's really growing is Williamson County, right? So we're getting more people. Actually, I talked to David Porter just recently, who was the Williamson County economic development guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he says for the first time ever, we're having more people commute to Travis County to work than actually the other way around, right? Or people that actually live there and work there. So there's more people from Williamson County going to work in Travis County
Yeah.
than the number of people that live in Travis County going to work there.
Wow.
And all of the growth, I'll tell you what, I don't know what the report was saying. I think it was like out of 10, out of every 10 people that moved to Austin, the Austin area, 5 of them are actually moving to Williamson County,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of, I felt really good hearing that news because for the longest time, we've been driving all of the traffic up north here. And so, yeah, Kyle, Butte, all those areas are great, but you have that downward pressure from San Antonio, and I just think that this area connecting us to Dallas is really the place to invest, Temple and all of that,
Yeah.
because it's the fastest growing. Look, we can say Austin's the hardest hit, or we could say this and that and everything else. But when you look at the statistics, there are more people moving here to the Golden Triangle than anywhere else in the U.S. And I feel like it's inevitable, though. Let's be realistic. There is this idea that you gotta. It's a cat and mouse game. So the developers are going to come in and develop because they're excited about the growth too, and then it's going to plateau, and then they're going to stop because right now we went from 8,500 or 8,600 apartments being built last year down to 2,600 apartments units this year.
Wow.
That's a huge decrease in multifamily units.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm an investor right now, what I'm thinking is let me get in while I can, buy low, sell high, and let me find a good bargain. Let me get in on the ground floor, and then let me ride that wave to the top. That's really the way to do it. Oh, what are they waiting for? What's everybody waiting for? For the market to do fantastic and great and pay a really high price for the same real estate? That doesn't make any sense.
This is the conversations that I have on a daily basis. Everyone says I want to wait and see, I want to wait and see, but you and I both know that wait and see means as soon as those rates go down, everyone's going to be ready to buy. And at that point, here's the funny thing.
Mm.
They will be willing to put in over asking at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, at that point they would
At
be.
that point, they'll be willing to do it
Yeah.
because everyone's doing it. Might be a controversial thinking, but here's my true thoughts.
Mm.
The news can scare us into certain things
Yeah.
or make us excited about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
The news, I think, is scaring people into purchasing a property. Okay, they're projecting doom and gloom because it's catchy, right? It's like, oh, I want to grab my phone and I want to read more about that, right? We are attracted to that as humans. But tell me why these major companies are coming in and buying all of the single family homes then. If it's truly doom and gloom, why are these billion-dollar companies buying hundreds of thousands of single family homes to rent out?
Yeah. I got some news on that too. So the PDF that's going to be available with this is actually going to cover some of that stuff on where these people are buying and how much they're buying. And we cover that every week. And I didn't want to keep beating the drum on institutional buyers, but I really feel like there's, them being out there available and ready to buy this real estate. Look, Bree, you know what really excites me? I'm switching the note for a second. Is the movie studio and Bastrop.
Bastrop?
Yeah, that's really got me excited. They got several hundred square feet of space that they're bringing online. And here's what they've done. It's really fascinating. So they were hitting a snag in development because, the city and permitting and all of this stuff, it's really complicated. And so what they did is they annexed themselves from the city of Bastrop.
Bastrop?
And they went on with the county so they could navigate zoning and permitting and have a little bit more hands off, from the city. And so now they're going to be developing and going full speeds ahead. And now I really was thinking about that actually. I don't know if you've gone to Bastrop recently, but it's such a quaint place, right? Like downtown Bastrop, and then it's got the beautiful water there and
Yeah.
the river and everything else. And I was like, holy crap. These companies have come down here, this movie studio, and they are seeing the future. They're seeing the future. What we're seeing because we live here, and anyone else driving through town is thinking, well, this is just a nice little quaint little area. It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty, but what's the catch?
Yeah.
I think what it is Austin is known for the arts, and that's originally what drew people in was the music and the food and the culture. And even today, when these companies move in here and they move their headquarters here, they're moving their headquarters here because it's fun to do business in Austin.
Yeah.
Right? It's fun to do business in Texas. And so I was just sitting down today and I was daydreaming and imagining that this movie studio becomes a really big deal because they said something interesting. One of the developers or one of the head honchos there at the movie studio, he says, well, there's a lot of red tape and this and that. And so as a way to avoid the red tape, we went ahead and annexed ourselves. And I'll tell you what other red tape they're really trying to cut out of their lives is being in California. They don't want that red tape. If they're willing to do so much to avoid red tape, the little red tape they have here, imagine how good they're going to feel when they're not bound by the same set of rules that they are in California.
Yeah.
So I could see a pretty large movement happening here for the arts. I mean, in the next 100 years, what do you think?
I think Bastrop is almost like a little hidden gem. That area between the airport and Bastrop, right? There's a plethora of land there still. I know that like right by Tesla, they're building that huge, I think it's called Doghead or something like that, which is going to be similar to the Domain, but on an even bigger scale. Plus you have that, movie studio in Bastrop. I kind of have a feeling that this area between the airport and Bastrop is not going to become what we consider far anymore because there's going to be so many things that are between Austin and Bastrop in the future.
Yeah. I'm wondering now, let me see something real quick. Well, other news, I'm really excited about the high-speed rail that's coming in from Dallas to Houston.
Mm.
And so I don't know, Bree. I think that's going to bring a lot of commerce. I think it's going to change the way we do business in Texas because you'll be able to go from Dallas to Houston in like, I don't know, like less than 90 minutes. They said 30 minutes in one little segment. And I couldn't believe my ears. I can't imagine it being that fast. But if you can get from Dallas to Houston in that in 90 minutes, it might change the way that we do business.
I think it's gonna have a huge impact. I mean, think about Texas as a whole. Like um, we are so vast and so big that, everyone here practically has a car, right? Like
Yeah.
it's hard to get around if you don't.
Mhm.
But people that come from up north or on the East Coast or even like Colorado, where you can get to like 4 different states in like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
If we're able to get from Houston to Dallas in that short amount of time, that's a
Mhm.
game changer.
Yeah. And I'm going to say something here on the show that I've been debating for a long time, but I haven't even announced this to Rosie or anybody else yet. And I don't think you probably even know about this yet. And
Tell
so
me.
it's kind of scary to talk about. But so I went to College Station the other day. And College Station, if for those people that don't know, is if you imagine the Golden Triangle, it's on the one side. Why don't I just share my screen real quick?
Yeah, share your screen.
Okay. So right now, Bree, you know that we have more MLS access out there than the typical agent, right? Most agents are only have access to the city they work and they don't have access to anything else, right?
Right.
And we've made a commitment of saying, you know what, we're gonna research all of the markets. We're gonna give you Killeen, Fort Hood. We're gonna give you Dallas. We're gonna give you Houston. We're gonna find the best deals out there. And we're gonna share everything and anything that we have.
Yeah.
And so I'm making a commitment here today. And honestly, I don't know what's out in College Station, but I'll tell you this: the one thing that you and I and the team know how to do is to figure out if there's a bargain. We know how to spot a bargain
Yeah.
because if it passes the smell test, then if it cash flows or if there's progress in the area, then you can see my screen now,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So this is Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and this is College Station right here.
Mhm.
So College Station, and let me put in uh, Samsung Taylor. Okay, this might be it. So Bree, that is not. I think it was about an hour and 15 minutes because maybe I drive a little faster, or I don't know why this is saying an hour and 28, but hour and a half. College Station, Texas A&M
Mhm.
is, I believe it's right up there with UT Austin as far as their engineering school,
Yeah, they are.
and it's also going to be the only stop along the way on that high speed rail.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's going to be west of College Station. Bryan, you have Bryan College Station. The area west of it is going to be what is where the train is going to pass through.
Mhm.
Now, that's all speculative for those of our real estate investors that want to know what's up and coming and want to be on the front end of that. So I'm making a commitment today that I think we're going to bring that MLS on and we're going to sort through there and see if there's any bargains for people. We're not promising anything, and but their vacancy rates seem to be really good,
Yeah.
and they're nice and low vacancy rates, and their rents are increasing.
Yeah.
So maybe we can take a look at it for our viewers and for our clients.
That's
Are you excited?
exciting. I'm very excited.
Oh my God, I'm
People
so
have
excited.
wanted or thought about it or, maybe had like an inkling of interest at some points. And to have full access to it and be able to share the complete data,
Yeah,
then I think that that's going to be a game changer for a lot of investors.
yeah. There's no more wondering. you know,
Right.
right now, because you can see what things are selling for. You can go on different websites, but you got to know what is it going to rent for, how long
Right.
is it going to take to rent out,
Yeah,
and all of these
exactly.
things. You know, those are
Yeah.
really important factors.
Very important factors
Mhm.
that we want to be able to share.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe there's always something in it. You know, what's in it for me is that I hope I get to buy some. I met with some builders. I'll share their information with you too. But it's a really beautiful town. If you haven't gone, I
Yeah.
highly recommend the drive. It's a beautiful, serene views and all of this stuff, and the environment there is really electric. I think it's a nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
but
brother goes to A&M.
oh, he does. Okay,
Aerospace engineer.
no way. You must be so proud of him.
I am. And
Wow.
I'm like way older than him. Like, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want
Isn't
everyone thinking I'm young, okay?
it? No, so aerospace, I mean, what you just said right there, aerospace engineer, for those people that don't know, Texas A&M is a hot spot for that right now.
Mhm.
And we have all of the SpaceX stuff and all of this. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's so exciting to see all the progress that's going on there.
Yeah.
So, Bree, will you have a property that maybe we want to take a look at today?
I want to share a couple of things with everyone. Let me pull up my screen. Let me find this stuff. Okay. So I have a couple of things that I want to share with everyone today. Oh, man, it always does this entire screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So on the investment comp sheet that you're going to see today, okay, um, honestly, any of these properties are looking good to me. You might be thinking, Bree, why are you okay with this property right here, even though it's negative cash flow? I want to share that specific property with you and tell you why. Okay. So here is a duplex in Round Rock.
Mhm.
Each side is 3-bed, 2-bath. Okay. Your high school is Cedar Ridge High School. You're in Round Rock ISD. And look at this. It's 3615 square feet total. So each side is about 1800 square feet.
Oh,
This.
wow, that's spacious for a
It's
duplex.
so spacious for a duplex. And this is a nice duplex. You have good flooring, decent kitchens, anything and everything I feel like you need for an investment property you have right here.
Yeah.
So the rental comps, when I was pulling the data here, I just kind of want to show y'all a little bit more. And guys, this will be in the email so that you'll be able to see it. But the rental comps are about 3,500 total, right? So they're asking 600. I want to bring it up for one reason,
Mhm.
because there was another property that was in Hutto that was kind of similar to something like this, like newer construction for Round Rock area, Hutto area, right? I know 1999 doesn't seem new, but in Round Rock, right, you're normally finding stuff that's in the 80s or 70s for duplexes in particular.
Mhm.
But that property was not cash flowing, that one in Hutto, and it went pending within 6 days,
Ah.
just because of the location and the potential. Because you and I both know that rents are down right now, right?
Mhm.
So the rents are a little bit down right now, but the rents have the capability always to go up and to increase. So if
Mhm.
we're able to buy it now, have a small sort of, small negative cash flow for now, then refinance when the rates go down, right? We will
Yeah.
be good. And the rental rates are going to go up, interest rates will go down eventually, and you're sitting in prime area, prime location.
You know
So,
what, Bree? I love what you just said there. And you know what? Some people, so the narratives out there, the people, they love to play with the narratives, right? The narrative right now is when interest rates go down, well, we don't know if they're going down. So like all these people are making these videos out there and they're talking about how maybe the interest rates aren't going down. What I would love to do is bring somebody on the call, maybe a lender. Let's bring our lender on here. Let's
okay.
have a conversation with them with what they've seen and how much rates actually have gone down and
Yeah.
how affordability has gotten better. And with the Fed's announcement yesterday, they're promising 3 additional cuts throughout the year. So are the rates going down? Absolutely. They've already been announced they're going down. And so for anyone out there who's making jokes of interest rates going down, I feel like this is a great time to take a closer look at what's actually happening.
Yeah.
how affordability and your ability to purchase real estate has peaked. So I think right before interest rates went up, they were at 4%.
Yeah.
So if you're at 5% or 5.5%, it's not a huge
No,
jump.
that's great.
Yeah,
That's great. That's golden. Like, let's go at 5.5%, you know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's go. I think, people got spoiled with the crazy low interest rates that were an anomaly that hadn't been anywhere like that for 65 years. You know what I mean? So eh, it's very easy to forget. It's so funny though, because every person that I talk to that is a little more mature and has
yeah,
lived through times when the interest rates were higher, they are
yeah.
not balking at these interest rates.
No,
They're saying, "Hey, interest rates are still good. Buy
yeah.
the property."
I love old school people, man. They have such a great a head over their shoulders. I remember my uncle, and I really look up to him because he was so successful in everything he done, and he always told me, he said, "Hey, get out there and just do it, just buy it,
Yeah.
go for it," you know. And
Yeah.
when was the best? I mean, you look at what the real estate values have been. Are you planning on next week or the next 5 or 10 years? You know,
Exactly.
or
I
next.
I I love, older people too because, I had a client who they're like a millennial. They were like, "Man, Brittany, I don't know, like, this rate, like, I feel like I should just rent again." Lo and behold, I was like, "You know what? If that's what you wanna do, I'm showing you the data, but ultimately it's your decision, right?" They called me back. They said, "Hey, I spoke to my grandma, and
Oh,
my grandma told me that I need to start looking at the homes because whenever they were buying a house, their interest rates were at 15%, and
no.
this is a good deal."
She knocked some sense into them.
I said, "You know what, grandma? I like you.
You know, yeah, you're like, give me the direct number so I send all my clients
I
to
need
her.
to thank grandma."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have her as the coach for her clients, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the people that I look up to the most, and I know we're going on about this now, but like the people I look up to the most are always the ones. They always emphasize the same thing to me. They they always communicate the same thing. They say, "I wish I would have bought more." You
Mhm.
know, and coming from someone who's so successful and has everything together put together, and you think that all they done is ride the wave up, and even they're saying that I wish I would have bought more. And I don't think this time is any different from any of those times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
it'll be exciting to see what happens. So yeah, just I would say to the viewers, if you haven't yet, sign up for our newsletter. Our newsletter has all of the great information on how you can buy real estate, how you can get financing, and we'd love to put you in touch with some of our lenders. And I think we're making a commitment today to actually bring a good, strong lender that we have and onto the show. Maybe next week. What do you
Yeah.
think, Bree? Can we bring
Yeah.
somebody on?
Yeah. I'll reach
And
out.
let's bring somebody on and let's have them share their insights on what they see happening, boots on the ground, and processing all the loans they do. What are the patterns they caught on to that maybe our viewers would love to hear about?
For sure.
And let's see. And oh yeah, and the newsletter will include anything that we haven't mentioned on the on the call today that goes over all of the growth happening in the area, any construction, and I think the Q2 stadium's getting some stuff nearby. Dallas is getting grocery stores. There's this offshoot of HEB. Have you heard of it? Johnny V's or something?
An offshoot of HEB? No.
It's like the HEB the affordable HEB stores. You know how how Central Market is.
I'm like, something more affordable than HEB? Oh,
Yeah, that's
what?
what I was thinking. I know. Yeah. So they have they look pretty on the exterior. They're really nice stores.
Mm.
But Dallas is getting one. They said Katie's had a few already. I know you have family in
I know.
Katie.
I'm like, I need to go see what they are. What's it called? Johnny V? I'll
Something
Google it.
with a V in there. Yeah.
Okay.
John V's or something. Really
I'll
fun.
find it.
Yeah. And
Oh, Joe V's.
Jovi's, have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Mhm.
one either.
Okay.
So
I will make
they
an
have
appointment
quite
for
a few
Katie.
stores already.
Yeah. I need to go
So
look at these.
yeah, I wonder if Austin will get one. I don't think they're trying to get us any affordable grocery here, but
Look, they don't want to give affordable housing.
we're a higher demographic here. Yeah, they're like, get them for what they're worth, but they know we have the money here. And so what else? So yeah, I think just beyond that, Bree, I was really excited about the Bastrop movie studio moving their thing full force ahead. I'm really excited for what that looks like for the years to come, and it's going to be a project that takes shape over time. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the high speed rail going from Dallas to Houston, and College Station only being an hour away from Taylor, and so I've drove through those small towns surrounding that area too, like Rockdale and all of those towns.
Mhm.
So there's some really big things happening in those areas. Like I think they're renovating 1 million square feet of industrial space
Wow. In
uh,
Rockdale?
in Rockdale
Wow,
for a power plant.
that's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. So there's a lot of water to the east of us, and supposedly that's where a lot of the new industry will be coming into.
Mm.
That's something that you'll only know if you made it this far into the video. So I encourage everyone to,
Well,
uh,
if they made it here, we don't need to encourage them. They're here.
yeah, stay tuned, right? Very cool. So yeah, we're here. We're here to answer your questions, guys, and we love your feedback. Let us know what you love about these videos, and we love doing them and providing value. And so subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see more of you soon. You have anything else you want to add, Bree?
I just want to say if anyone has any questions or wants us to address any specific areas, anything that you're reading about that you want us to touch base on, debunk a myth or prove something, please let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM. We're happy to discuss that. We want this to be an interactive experience for everyone.
Absolutely. That's such a beautiful way to say it. So
Oh,
eloquent.
it only
All
happens on
right.
occasion.
Yeah, all right. You're in flow. Very cool.
Okay.
Well, Bree, love you, and I hope to see you soon, and give my love to my niece and
Ah,
and
love
my
you.
brother-in-law. Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.